gonna get that wire in there this time. I'm gonna get that thing in there. Sure, on 220 volts, you can get zapped, burned, even stop your heart permanently. But you'll never make an ass out of yourself. But here's a surefire way that you can. From an experience I had in the past. As mentioned in the other video, the previous video about my electrical tool set, I worked my way through college as they call it a student electrician. So it was a great job. Got to go in and work any little hours I had between classes, run in, grab some job sheets, go out, run wires, fix ballasts, lights, whatever there was. We had keys to everything on campus. We had the truck to go around. It was great. It was great. They only picked people that had a lot of, I grew up with electrical. Really helped me get comfortable with working around electricity. Except when it came to high tension 15,000, 20,000 volt lines. So we're gonna talk about a story about that. And get comfortable. And one of the tools I always had in this bag was, I called it my blue railer. It was a screwdriver quite a bit larger than this, about that long, half an inch square, quite large. Well, I had to work with this old gruff guy one time. He was an electrician for a long time, but pretty difficult to work with. I had to go up and work in the feed station. And that's where the high power lines come down, 10,000, 15,000 volts. They come down and feed down into this transformer room. And this transformer room is, was pretty large. And then from there, it's going to divide the voltages down to where you get your 440, 220, 110, and all that was run all over the campus. So we were down there one weekend, and we had to reconfigure this thing. So they were having to reconfigure the transformer, and he figured out all the things that needed to be done on the reconfiguration, and I was pretty much there to be his gopher and handle what I could. Well, we get in there, we open up the cage on this thing. There's always a metal cage around the transformers. We get into this cage, and he's like, oh yeah, go back over there and take all the, there were these, let's call them like plates, between different bolts that connected up, how it was routed. This is the configuration of it, and they were about a half an inch thick by, 2.5 inches wide, a number of these plates, and we had to like reroute them and connect them up a different way. So he's like, oh yeah, just go take those off over there, and then we'll start, we'll get this thing done. Well, I pull out, I didn't know where we were going when we left, and I just had my little tester with me. This only goes up to 600 volts. Well, I was like, I only have my tester. Where's the high voltage tester? We had one at the shop. It had big insulators on it, so you could test from 2 feet out, because you don't want to get close to the 10,000 volts. Well, he didn't bring it. Oh, I turned the power off. Everything's just fine there. You're going to get back there and take that thing off back there. And I don't know why you're making such a big fuss. Well, don't trust people with your life, folks, without checking things out. At least I kind of learned that this day. I think God was protecting me, frankly. So anyway, after arguing with him for a little bit, I said, okay, so if the power's off, I told him, if the power's off, then I can just short the screwdriver across the 2 plates that you want me to take off, and nothing should happen. Okay, so I take this big screwdriver, and I go over there across one of the plates. I put it on one, and I hit it down to the... So I took that screwdriver, put it down on one of the plates, dropped it down across the other one. Gee, guess what? The power was still on. This is like 10,000 volts. It just blows up, blows the screwdriver in half, just rips through it. Shrapnel goes straight up my arm, burns right through my jacket that I had on, left some burn marks all through my arm, knocked me across the other side of the cage. I was thankful that that I had turned my head away because otherwise I could have been blinded. There was not only a tremendous flash, but all the little metal particles that went flying from my screwdriver and from the plate that blew up at 10,000 volts. I was not a happy camper. I was really ticked off at the guy, and I was just ready to punch his lights out. I was so cheesed off, and you know, he had lots of excuses, but excuses don't bring someone back from the dead. So, you know, test everything when your life's dependent upon it. Little things are okay, but you know, test things out. It was a good thing that God put in my mind to at least test it out with this and not trust someone else with my life. That kind of brings up a thought I think about is when you're working with high voltage electrical, don't make an ash out of yourself. Don't let someone else make an ash out of you either, okay? And now we're going to get back on those projects. Get out there. If you're going to do some electrical, get on the internet and learn about electrical. Look up the diagrams. Understand a little bit about it. Don't just buy some tools and go out and start sticking your hands in it. You got to understand how it works a little bit. All right, here. So don't forget to subscribe. We've got other videos coming on. And think about that notification bell. You might want to get notified. All right, here. Signing off. Hasta la projecta.